So to recap everything, and I'm going to recap it and go, everybody. The first thing is the attorney fees that we said earlier. The attorney fees in California involve me for anti-SLAPP fees that the defendant wants to get for making comments or making or his conduct in New Jersey legal in terms of fraudulent statements. That's what the anti-SLAPP is about. And then the case in itself is no case because the case in New Jersey is fraud. So there's no premise. But that's where the anti-SLAPP fees came from. And I know the 119 number, I know where that came from. So you have a lot of hate in this world, a lot of jealousy. And it's okay to some degree. You just got to know who you are. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to do what you do because I would get what you got. And in most cases, you ain't got nothing. That's why you're doing it. So at the end of the day, the attorney fees in California is for me. They would not be for Rymir because Rymir withdrew from that case. The reports would lead you to believe that somebody's going to they're trying to do him a favor. You ain't doing nothing in favor for him. Because what you did was you went to New Jersey and you tried to get something from him there. In New Jersey, Judge Linda Eon illegally sanctioned my godson and I for $100,000 together. And then this attorney fee from Tom McGoglin, he wanted $36,000 for him and his family. Pretty much, because his wife is at the thing. And he pretty much, unfortunately, is in the wrong profession. He works with Kenneth Winters, which is another attorney who was on the case before they let him go again. Right? So here we are with that. So I just wanted to tell you all what you needed to know in that regard for that. So yeah, so that's the first thing. So there is fees in both places. There's fees in California, but those fees will be made decision on based on the law on January 7th. The ones in New Jersey was done because Mr. Carter used my custody order, which he has no custody of Rymir, never did, to go through a channel which he has no standing to do. And in that channel, he tried to use his power, if you will, or money to make up things. In this case here, it was about orders that didn't exist or mischaracterization of orders. First of all, there's no orders there. The orders that are there ain't there because there's all void. But the ones that are there, if you just to say they are, they're not saying to gag. They're not saying any of these things. They're basically upset with me to some degree, I guess, because we went, and at the time was me and Rymir, went to California to pursue a litigation about a fraud that took place in our lives. How dare we? That's what happened. So at the end of the day, that's that. So here, that's that. And then we already talked about Rymir's aunt and how she has the freedom of speech to say and do what she wants, which obviously she did. And then she's waiting on other things because they're trying to work on the rights of Wanda. I've already told you guys that I'm in school working on my second PhD. That's why y'all ain't seen me. And I'm not going to chase no foolishness. I ain't got to. I serve a God who's over all of it. And he knows how to get it done and get whatever to be done. All things work together for my good and his glory. So I ain't got to run now and chase them down. It's all stupid. I know where it's coming from because they're cheap like blogs, low end blogs. And I think one of them was supposed to be one of them. I knew the person who did it because at the end of the day, I've been around too. I've been doing some things over my lifetime, and I knew the person. I wound up getting in contact, and I said, "Why are you writing about this?" And we know that certain people pay for blogs, but when you get on CNN talking and you get on NSBC talking, they're gonna call us for our response. And there's some people trying to get our interview too. So at the end of the day, everybody, let's just bring this home. It's all good. And nothing is going to change. As I told you before then and now, nobody's going to be paying for no attorney fees. You can say attorney fees all you want. That was for media. That was supposed to be to scare somebody. That was supposed to be for somebody to sit down and run away. When you know the law is on your side, it don't bother you because you ain't did nothing. I mean, if you are dealing with fraud and fraud upon a court in your own way, and then stuff is void over here because you don't have subject, what's the problem? Where we running from? Nobody. And then the fact that an attorney general of a state will come out or say something in his documents or their documents, right, from the deputy, and say something so outrageous. And I still say it's because we're Black. You want to think that you can walk over and do what you want and there's two steps to loss. Well, you'll find out, right? But at the end of the day, here we are, and it's all good in its own way, and that we're all good. Me and Rymir is good. Rymir has been busy working because he got kids to work for, and he's got Christmas and things coming up. He wants to get all that overtime in, but he is going to make up. Hear me this. He's going to make up for not being around. Okay, he's going to make up. He was supposed to do a couple videos before he got caught up in the work, blah, blah, blah. But he's going to make it up to y'all. Just hear it from me now. So everything is good there. Keep praying for us. God is going to finish the work that he started. Yes, he is. He's going to finish the work, and ain't nobody going to stop it. So at the end of the day, just be encouraged. Walk by faith and not by sight. We're trying to do as much as we can to give you video. I was trying to come on at least once a week, y'all. But I am out of school now, so I got a break. And I'm not saying I'm going to be on here because I got other things to do. I got a lot of other stuff going on. But this is going to be a great few weeks that's coming up as we approach the end of the year. Looking forward to great things coming up that God has allowed us to be a part of. And we're just thankful and grateful that we can try to not just empower ourselves, but others around us. So look forward to any one of you out there who may consider yourself a victim for whatever reason. Something has happened, people have tried to manipulate you in the system, et cetera, and it's not fair. And it may be because of the color of your skin, it might be where you live, it could be a lot of different things. But whatever it is, we want you to know we're going to be here for you. We're going to be setting up, eventually they're going to be setting up some what they call, I wouldn't say 1-800 numbers, but like that, so that people can try to tell the story about what they're going through as it relates to justice. Now, while I'm in school, my dissertation is going to be God Loves Justice. How about that, everybody? God Loves Justice. And it's a living thing that I'm going through right now. And then, of course, we had the legislation that we already got underway. So there's all these things that kind of coming together. And then the truth will set you free. You ain't got to run. You ain't got to hide. You ain't got to manipulate it. You ain't got to twist it. It's just right there. So I'm just glad, grateful, thankful, everything about the truth. And I'm so glad the truth is on our side and the law is on our side, and we will prevail. I promise you, we will prevail because God has already spoken it and it will come to pass. No matter what somebody's trying to do, no matter what they say over here, what they say over there, it don't mean nothing because the truth will always set you free and it'll always rise to the top. So this is Dr. Lily M. Goley, and I am so glad that I was able to come on and talk on this happy Sunday, everybody. So happy Sunday to everyone. Be encouraged. We look forward to talking with you soon. This is Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil, and be encouraged.